Welcome to the Real English Learning Podcast, where real conversations help you build real English. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Maya, and we are really happy you are here with us today.
Today's podcast is about something that affects every single one of us, every single day. Good habits and daily routines.
And I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh no, not another wake up at 5 in the morning and change your life kind of talk.
No, that is not what this is, I promise. We are not going to tell you to drink cold water and meditate at sunrise.
Although, if that works for you, amazing. Genuinely. But today, we are just having a real conversation about the small things we do every day, the habits that help us, the ones that don't, and what it actually feels like to try to change.
Because habits are something everybody has. Good ones, bad ones, a few confusing ones that you are not sure which category they belong to.
I have a few of those.
Same. And we will talk about all of it. Because this is not a perfect habits conversation. This is an honest one.
And as always, this is a B1 level English conversation. So the language is clear and natural. The way people really speak. Not textbook English. Real English.
You do not need to understand every single word. Just listen, follow the feeling, and let the language come to you. That is how it works.
And we have a word tour for you at the end. 8 useful words and phrases from today's conversation with clear examples. So stay with us for that.
But first, a small message for anyone who feels like their English progress is slow right now. Maybe you have been studying for a while and it still does not feel natural. Maybe speaking still feels a little scary.
That feeling is so normal, and it does not mean you are not improving. It just means you are still building. And every time you listen to natural English, like right now, you are adding something. Quietly, slowly, but really.
Progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is just, oh, I understood that without stopping. And that matters.
So relax, enjoy the conversation, and let's talk about habits.
Okay, Maya, let's start at the beginning. When I say the word habit, what comes to your mind first?
Honestly, my morning coffee. That is the first thing. Every single morning, before I do anything else, I make coffee. I do not think about it. I do not decide to do it. I just do it.
That is the perfect example of a habit. Something you do automatically, without thinking. Your brain has done it so many times that it just runs on its own now.
Like a program that starts itself.
Exactly. And that is actually what a habit is, from a science point of view. A habit is a behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. You do something again and again, and eventually your brain stops spending energy on it. It just happens.
Which is why habits are so powerful. Because automatic things take almost no effort.
Right. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the habit.
True. A good habit on automatic is wonderful. You exercise regularly without arguing with yourself every time. You drink water without thinking about it. You sleep at a consistent time.
But a bad habit on automatic is tricky because your brain is running it without asking your permission.
Like scrolling on your phone for 40 minutes before you even get out of bed.
Speaking from experience?
Absolutely speaking from experience. And the most annoying part is I do not even enjoy it. I just do it. My hand picks up the phone before my brain is even awake.
That is a habit. A very modern, very common habit. And you are definitely not alone in that.
Very comforting. But it also makes me think there is a difference between habits we choose and habits that just happen to us.
That is such a good point. Some habits we build on purpose. I want to read more, so I put a book next to my bed and read for 10 minutes every morning. That is intentional.
But some habits just grow quietly in the background, and one day you notice, oh, I have been doing this for months, and I never actually decided to.
Like eating snacks while watching TV, or checking your email first thing in the morning before you were even ready to deal with anything.
Why do we do that? The emails will not be happy news at 7 in the morning.
They really will not. But the habit exists. And the interesting thing is, you did not sit down one day and say, I am going to check my email every morning before breakfast. It just happened, slowly, over time.
Which means habits can form without us even noticing. And that is both fascinating and a little alarming.
It is. Which is why people who understand their habits tend to have a better time with them. When you see the habit clearly, you can actually do something about it.
Awareness first, change second. You cannot change something you have not noticed.
Beautifully said. And that connects to something we should talk about: the difference between a habit, a routine, and a ritual. Because people use these words as if they mean the same thing, but they do not exactly.
Oh, yes. Tell me what you think.
A habit is automatic, it happens without much thought. A routine is a set of habits in a certain order, like a morning routine. First coffee, then shower, then breakfast, then leave. A ritual is a routine that has meaning attached to it. It is not just what you do, it is how you do it and what it feels like. Like a morning person who makes tea very slowly, quietly, and uses that time to think about the day. Same action, but it carries weight.
I love that. A ritual is a routine with a feeling inside it.
Exactly. And some people have beautiful rituals they do not even call rituals. They just know that this specific thing, done this specific way, makes them feel ready.
Mine is sitting by the window with my coffee for 10 minutes before the day starts. No phone, no noise, just the window and the coffee.
That is a ritual. That is not just coffee. That is your signal to yourself. Today is starting. I am ready.
I had never thought of it like that, but yes, that is exactly what it is.
Okay, let's get honest now. Because I think a lot of conversations about habits only focus on the good ones. Like, here are 5 habits of successful people, and everything sounds very clean and impressive.
And then real life is a little messier than that.
Much messier. So, Maya, what is a habit you are genuinely proud of?
Walking. I walk every evening after dinner, just 20 to 30 minutes. Outside, slowly, no real destination. I have done it for almost 2 years now, and it has changed how I sleep, how I feel, how I think.
That is a really good one. And it is simple, too. Not a 2 hour gym session, just a walk.
That is the thing. The best habits are often not dramatic, they are just consistent, small and consistent.
Consistent is such an important word. Because a habit done 3 times a week for a year is worth so much more than a perfect plan you followed for 2 weeks and then stopped. Exactly. Imperfect and regular beats perfect and occasional every time. Every single time. For me, my proud habit is writing 3 sentences every morning. Just 3. About how I feel, what I want to focus on that day, and one thing I am grateful for.
3 sentences. That is so manageable.
That was the whole plan. Make it so small that there is no excuse not to do it. I cannot say I do not have time for 3 sentences. Nobody is that busy.
If you do not have time for 3 sentences, something has gone very wrong.
Exactly. And somehow those 3 sentences clear my head. I go from foggy and distracted to a little more focused. It takes maybe 4 minutes, but the effect lasts for hours.
Small actions, big effects. That is the quiet magic of habits.
Now, the honest part. What is a habit you wish you could change?
Oh, we are doing this.
We are doing this.
Okay. Late nights. I stay up too late. Not doing anything particularly exciting, just awake. Reading, thinking, on my phone sometimes. And then the next morning, I am tired. And I promise myself, tonight I will sleep earlier. And then I don't.
The loop of good intentions.
The most famous loop. What about you?
I put things off. Procrastination. If something feels a little difficult or a little uncomfortable, I find a very logical reason to do it later. And later becomes tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes next week.
Next week. The cousin of next Monday.
Exactly. And the frustrating part is I know I am doing it. I can see it happening. I just watch myself find a reason to wait.
Awareness without action, which is somehow worse than not knowing, because you cannot even pretend you did not know.
No, you know, you just did not act on it.
So, how do you deal with it? When you know a habit is not good for you, but you keep doing it anyway.
I think the first step is stopping the self criticism. Because a lot of people know their bad habits and spend enormous energy feeling bad about them. But that guilt does not actually change the habit, it just makes you feel worse.
Which then sometimes leads to more of the bad habit because you feel stressed, and stress leads back to the habit.
The cycle, yes. So, awareness first, then curiosity, not judgment. Instead of, why am I like this? Try, when does this happen? What triggers it? What do I actually need in that moment?
Like, I stay up late. But why? Maybe because the evening is the only quiet time I have. Maybe I am not ready to let go of the day.
And once you understand that, you can work with it. Instead of fighting the habit, you find a way to meet the need differently.
That is much gentler than just telling yourself to stop it and be better.
Much gentler and much more likely to actually work.
Let's talk about starting new habits. Because a lot of people feel excited about a new habit at the beginning, and then after 2 weeks, the excitement disappears.
The motivation drop. very real, very common, and honestly, very normal.
Normal? Even when it feels like failure?
Especially then, because motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. You cannot build a habit on motivation alone, because motivation is not always there.
So, what do you build it on?
Environment, systems, tiny steps. If you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to drink more water, put a glass next to your toothbrush. If you want to walk more, put your shoes by the door.
Make the habit easy to start. Remove the effort from the beginning.
Exactly. Because most habits do not fail in the middle, they fail at the start. You never open the book. You never put on the shoes. You never begin.
So, if beginning is the hardest part, you make beginning almost effortless.
Yes. 2-minute rule. Just start for 2 minutes. You wanted to exercise? Just put on your workout clothes. That is it. That is the habit for today if you need it to be.
And usually, once you start, you continue. Because starting is the door. Once you are through it, the room is easier.
Almost always. The hardest part is always the very first second. After that, the brain adjusts.
I tried this with my walking habit, actually. In the beginning, I did not commit to 30 minutes. I just said, I will put on my shoes and go outside. That is all.
And then you walked?
Every time. Once I was outside, I walked because, well, I'm already outside. I might as well.
The logic of already being there.
Powerful logic. Very underrated.
And what about when you miss a day? Because that happens. Life happens. You miss the walk, you miss the writing, you skip the gym.
This used to make me feel like I had failed completely. Like I broke the chain, so the whole thing is ruined now.
All or nothing thinking. And it is the biggest killer of new habits.
Because one missed day is not a broken habit. It is just a missed day.
Exactly. The rule that helped me most: never miss twice. 1 day off is rest. 2 days off is the beginning of a new habit. The habit of not doing it.
Never miss twice. That is simple enough to actually remember.
That is the whole point. Simple enough to use in real life. Not a complicated system. Just, okay, I missed yesterday. Today, I go back.
No drama, no guilt speech, just back to it.
Back to it. And over time, back to it becomes automatic. And that is when a habit is really formed. Not when you feel excited about it. When you go back to it even when you do not feel like it.
That is the real habit, not the inspired version. The ordinary, slightly tired, doing it anyway version.
The Tuesday afternoon version of the habit. When it is not exciting, when nobody is clapping, and you just do it.
That is so real. The Tuesday afternoon version. I love that.
And honestly, most of life happens on Tuesday afternoons. Not on the exciting days, on the ordinary ones.
Which means the habits that work on ordinary days are the ones that actually change your life.
Slowly, quietly, but really.
I think that is a beautiful place to move into our word tour because we have some really good words from today.
Welcome to the Word Tour. We are going back through today's conversation and looking at 8 useful words and phrases, clearly and slowly, with examples you can actually use.
Just try to understand each one. You do not need to memorize all of them. If one or two feel useful to you, take them. That is enough.
First word, automatic. If something is automatic, it happens by itself without you thinking about it or deciding to do it.
Example 1. After 3 months of practice, speaking the new vocabulary started to feel automatic.
Example 2. Checking my phone in the morning became automatic. I did it without even deciding to. Repeat, automatic. Automatic.
Next word, consistent. If you are consistent, you do something regularly, in the same way, without stopping.
Example 1. She was not perfect every day, but she was consistent, and that made all the difference.
Example 2. The key to improving your English is consistent listening, not occasional big study sessions. Repeat, consistent. Consistent.
Next, intentional. If you do something intentional, you do it on purpose, with a clear reason, not by accident.
Example 1. He made an intentional decision to spend less time on social media.
Example 2. Being intentional about your morning routine can change how your whole day feels. Repeat, intentional. Intentional.
Next, procrastination. Procrastination means putting off something you need to do, usually because it feels difficult, boring, or uncomfortable.
Example 1. I knew I needed to make that phone call, but procrastination kept winning.
Example 2. Procrastination often disguises itself as preparation. You feel like you are getting ready, but you are really just waiting. Repeat, procrastination. Procrastination.
Next, trigger. A trigger is something that starts a reaction or behavior. In habits, a trigger is the thing that causes the habit to begin.
Example 1. For me, sitting on the sofa was a trigger for wanting to eat snacks.
Example 2. Understanding your triggers helps you understand your habits. Repeat. Trigger. Trigger.
Next, routine. A routine is a set of actions you do regularly, usually in the same order. It is a pattern of behavior in your daily life.
Example 1. Having a morning routine helps me feel calm and prepared before work.
Example 2. Even a simple routine. Coffee, a short walk, 5 minutes of quiet can set a positive tone for the day. Repeat. Routine. Routine.
Next, motivation. Motivation is the feeling or reason that makes you want to do something. It is the energy behind an action.
Example 1. My motivation to exercise is not about looking different. It is about how it makes me feel.
Example 2. Motivation comes and goes, so it is important to build habits that work even when motivation is low. Repeat. Motivation. Motivation.
And our final word today, progress. Progress means moving forward, getting better over time. It does not have to be fast or big. It just means you are further along than you were before.
Example 1. She could not see the progress day by day, but when she looked back after 3 months, it was clear.
Example 2. Small progress is still progress. Do not wait for big changes to feel proud of yourself. Repeat. Progress. Progress.
And those are your 8 words for today. automatic, consistent, intentional, procrastination, trigger, routine, motivation, progress.
Pick one or two that felt useful and try to use them this week. In a real sentence, in a real moment, even once. That is practice.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. What a conversation.
I genuinely enjoyed this one because habits are so personal. Everyone has them, everyone struggles with some of them, and everyone has the ability to slowly change them.
Today's big idea. Habits are not about being perfect. They are about being consistent. Not the exciting version of the habit, the ordinary Tuesday afternoon, doing it anyway version.
And that is true in English learning too. You do not need perfect study sessions. You need consistent ones. Small, regular, honest effort. Every time you listen to natural English, you are building something.
So keep going, even on the slow days, especially on the slow days.
Before you go, we have a question for the comments. What is one habit you are proud of and one habit you are still working on? Be honest. We are a judgment-free zone here.
We would love to read your answers. And if today's episode helped you in any way, please give it a like. It helps us reach more learners who need this kind of content.
And if you are new here, welcome. Subscribe to the Real English Learning Podcast so you never miss a new episode.